Seukeran Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Coach Canada decided to do a live TikTok. When the narcissist destroys your life and you still have to live with them, how you don't get revenge. And they keep trapping you and financially abusing you, and you can't escape and get away what you're supposed to do in the meantime, so you don't do something to them. 5:07 p.m. right here in Malton. Let me start by reminding you, 7555 Gorway Drive, Building 1, Apartment 47. I can't make money because of you, I'm poor. Let me remind you again why you're here, living here. Because you're tenants, right? And you're doing what here? Oh, you're gonna pay for everything now. We're gonna sit here in Malton until you get everybody in Malton to join in. You want me to move? Find me an apartment. We're gonna do it all live. 5:09 p.m. Malton. Where do you have to go? What do you have to do? That's right, nothing. You'll have to excuse me if I'm not talking all the time. I'm trying to make a cup of coffee. And at the same time, heat up one of those frozen chicken pies I made yesterday for my dinner. But since it's dinner time now, I guess I'm having it now since I didn't really have an appetite and I put it in the fridge. Oh, please stop saying the word reality because there is no way any of you live in it. So stop it. You what? What are you doing here complaining when you have your new councillor and mayor? What? You what? Complaining to who? About what? Did we not hear? Financial abuse. You not remember Amy Seukeran, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Canada? The Go Train? Me? All of you? You're having events now? Right? In the mall? That same My Neighborhood Services? You had me arrested so I can't do children's events? My life here, what it's supposed to be when you're garbage? You ruined everything, destroyed my nonprofit, the community groups. Remember, that's all me. So we're talking about why you're here and what you did and what I should do to you and why you get to live here. Money, like you said, dollars. Like you said, Malton moms, right? They own my life for the next 10 years. Not the councillor, mayor, right? No hope living Mississauga, Malton, Brampton, Peel Region. Where? My housing subsidies for Peel Region. Where should I move to? We'll help. Do something helpful at least. You're the ones that said I can't own the house, right? The $5,000 house. You're asking how much I had as a down payment? Yeah, you were here, $400, the cash money, the loan. You were scamming, you were doing what? Making sure, right? I didn't have money to have to feed, to get my passport, to run for counselor. Now, Officer Tyler, right? You made sure? And you're all what? Proud? Which ones? Well, help me. Which ones? The whole of Malton and the police fire? Which one now? Who isn't included? Safe Center of Peel, you saw all of it, right? All of you with your eyes? Had enough chance? To see. You saw what you got to do? As what? A community? A group? Which one? Non-profit organizations? You saw? Community building? What you did to me? The same Malton Women's Council, Muslim Women's Council, My Neighborhood Services, Malton Neighborhood Services, community building. Same Malton Moms, same Crystal Mark. You have the nerve today in the Westwood Mall. You didn't do it, right? The gala is in a day. Jonathan would be proud, right? More money for you. But you still didn't do it. You're sitting here talking to me why. I would like to hear this. Let's go over the school boards, the Catholic school boards. I told you how many times. One high school is public, one is Catholic. We went over the skirts and the narcissistic abuse, right? The pretty. The men like what? Why they're using who? The women and the men, all are the same. They're all abusers. What are we catching up on today? The real victims, hopefully. When we couldn't admit who it was, who was it? The government that did it back to Malton? The police that did it back to Malton for defunding them? Which one? Systemic violence, systemic racism. And now what? I was a victim when I opened the business. What do you mean, and now what? Where did you get to? When I opened the business, I had a Facebook business page. Do you remember that, Amy's Real Life? There was a post there. The OPP and Angie Atkinson. The name of the officer was Angie Atkinson, OPP. That's why that was so funny today. That's the real OPP in Canada. They didn't do it. And how that's the Mississauga branch of the OPP. The whole government, the voting. Ontario, they finished with Peel Region, you finished with Brampton, you finished with Mississauga. Why is that funny? What's the new mayor? You? You what? You want to go over the Instagram fan account? Why you had it open? You told people which one? I jumped from the GO train? Do you want to tell all the same government about that? The GO train? The route you have? Anywhere? For how much? All the kids that are going to use it to go all the way to where? All the Raptor games? Yeah, let's make sense of Malton today. Mental health, right? That was OPP. Mental health. They had a wellness day with puppies. I want to make sense. Well, I'm never a victim, but I opened a business. You all got to, and those are Ontario Provincial Police showing me, rubbing it in my face, that they're playing with puppies, making money. You want to go over PTSD and what it is for them? For Malton moms, for community building? What are all the things you called me? Crazy? Schizophrenic? You want to go over those? Who taught you the word? Where you learned them? It's kind of late, isn't it? To stop it. Now, which one? Why do you call police, ambulance, and fire, emergency services? What do you call them for? You guys put on my social media, right? You're voting for Natalie Hart and Carolyn Parrish as councillor and mayor, for councillor and mayor. So what were they in 2019? I want to hear how this is fair. If I was right here in Malton on Netherwood. The homeless shelter, Cawthorpe Shelters in Mississauga. I lived in Bramalea in downtown Brampton. Peel Region. Yeah, Carolyn Parrish is the CEO, right? You're talking about CEOs? She's the CEO because she's the mayor. Which board is that? You spent 2 years the same way, right, while I was living here. Natalie for the win. But you're complaining to me while she was the counselor? And you did what? You held events the same way, doing what? I'm complaining that she was the counselor right here. You tell me how this works now. All of you. I opened my business in March 2019. What was she in 2019 March? Natalie Hart. Yes, all legal. What? You have the election coming up. Which one am I supposed to take seriously? That's my job? Yeah, we went over. Why do you have a secret ballot? Why do you go by yourself behind the booth? Why do you think they do that? So it's a secret ballot. Nobody knows who you're voting for. So think about what you just did. The last time you said you were her campaign manager. Yeah, I want you to think and tell her after. It doesn't get any realer than this, right? Election in October? It was the same thing the year Jonathan Davis, 2019. Do you understand that? Why I'm doing this? They're having their gala tomorrow, same multi-neighborhood services. Where was Natalie Hart for the gala? We know Crystal Mark was the keynote speaker, right? Because I posted that. Same Crystal Mark from Malton Moms. So where were the rest of them? The government for that gala. Who was there? The mayor? The mayor was there. Good. After the Jonathan Davis. Well, now you know why she was there. Do you remember the video with the shooting? That same mayor, the lady, the blonde lady? Just in case. With the police officer? Okay, as long as we're all on the same page. So she was there. Who's now running again, right? Against Carolyn Parrish for mayor. Natalie Hart is running for councilor. Are you caught up? Hazel McCallion is gone. Passed away. She was the mayor of Mississauga. Do you understand where we are? Mississauga and Malton. Just making sure. What you can't take back. This is everybody has an opinion. Let me just explain something. My belief is, if you had rules before and they were working, what happened? How are we here today where nobody knows what rules are? And you don't know. You can't agree on the same thing. That's why we have rules, right? Or else it'd be anarchy. That's why rules are in place, so everybody has the same set of rules to follow. So everybody does the same thing. Just like instructions. Everybody can read them and know how to do something. Well, let's go over it. Did you see that card from Natalie Hart? Did you get one or no? Do you remember now going over how many times? What does public mean? It's a public community center, a public mall. What does that mean? Did you forget what that means? A public mall? Everybody's supposed to even teach inclusion. So what is going on? I'm not understanding this. If you have a public community center, a public library, a public mall, yet you're telling me what? Who can go in there? What's allowed? Make it make sense? Yes, make it make sense. I'll put this probably on YouTube if I can for everybody to watch after. Yeah, we're going over financial abuse, what you did to me in 7 years, and why you're still denying it if it's not narcissistic abuse. Because that Malton neighborhood services and all those OPP and real police, right, still qualify as gang bullying. I'm still the victim who opened the business. Because he went behind my back to Angie Atkinson to be better life coaches, he went to Richard Grandin to get excellence. Doesn't make any difference to me. I still went through all the abuse when I opened the business. Do you understand that? Because it would help you a lot, right? It won't help me now, but it'll help you. We're going over my ex, right? What you just did again? 15 and a half years. You know how long it took me to recover from him? A cold, heartless animal. I couldn't cry. We were going over that. Why? I don't cry. I didn't cry. Emotional abuse, what it actually means. A cold, heartless, being with them. How long it takes you to recover. How you recover. What you're supposed to do. How you would ever trust another man. How you would ever date. Or talk to people. Why I was locked up. What the effects are. The long-term effects. The nausea I have. Why I'm on ODSP. The lifelong nausea. Where it came from. How long? How old? The narcissistic harem, all the girls who were hanging out with him, his best friends who were telling me they're having his baby, right? Who did this on purpose. The high school bullies, Monique and Shauna. The same jealousy. We went over Seukeran and Malton, right? Morningstar High School, where they all went. Where they hung out. Same Woodbine Center, same Square One. You didn't go to the movie theater? Are you thinking about what you're saying now? That you're all married with kids? I'm different? Because you got married and had kids? None of you ever slept around? You never cheated? You don't understand. You're telling me about what? I told you how many times. He was the only person I was with. Why I didn't go out and get some? Why I didn't date? Why I didn't... Do you understand that? He was a cold, heartless animal. Emotional abuse behind closed doors. Now you know this. Did you know it then? So catch up to what you're telling me and what you already did to me. As abusers. A community of abusers. For 7 years when you put me in the homeless shelter. And then living here in this building. What kind of victim were you? Females, victims of violence? Males? Which one were you? Homelessness? Food insecurity? Which victim were you? Because there's a whole list of them. And I am fed up. Yeah, we're going to go over all the services. Safe Center and what they do. Why you broke trust with all of them and who I'm supposed to call to get help now. You already called on me and told them I'm recording your children and I have narcotics in my unit. But there are still victims and I have to prove I'm a person. All of it we're going to go over until I'm done. Maybe it's the first episode of the podcast. Do you have a good name? You're going over Jay-Z and Beyonce and how many kids they had and which one was the narcissist and Illuminati and P. Diddy and Drake and Justin Bieber because they were Canadian. Why Jay-Z, his music company, the title one, didn't get the title. Why it sank. Some said Beyonce made him stay home and take care of the baby while she made the album. But that's just a rumor and I think Illuminati tricks. We don't believe that, right? Beyonce made him stay home because it was her money and her house and her career. That'd be ridiculous. Jay-Z's baby. How many babies do they have now? No, I think it was Illuminati that had the baby, not Jay-Z and Beyonce. You remember that? They were fighting over the birthday and the date and the Illuminati tricks. Well, we're talking about Drake and the owl and his branding now, right? Somebody said that was an Illuminati sign. Like, yeah, Drake used it for all over his... Oh. An owl stays up all night. It's Illuminati. They stay up all night and watch you. In Canada. Where they kill your friends. But you can make the money for free. And they burn your ice blocks and call you heartless. Oh no. Yes, yes, little Jimmy. Aubrey Graham is real. He's a real little boy. And he has children who like the Raptors. Do you know Beyonce's twins are special needs? See, that's where I stopped paying attention. Because you remember when they went over... No, Jamie Foxx, his eyesight? Why I stopped watching. You thought that was a joke? If they did it on purpose. The twins, special needs. What's wrong with them? Yeah, I don't know if I should. I'm too real for me. What's wrong with them? What were the special needs? They were born with them? Yeah, I'm joking now, right? Twins. Go ahead. Let me hear. For fun. If I ask the date? Think about what you did to me. Which one did you call the narcissist? Beyonce or Jay-Z? When? Let's go over Destiny's Child. Her father was her manager, right? Then? When did she become solo? Was it jealousy? With who? Rihanna? Same Jay-Z? How many? Destiny's Child? Which one? When? You forgot Destiny's Child? Which one did you forget? When it went to from 5 to 3? Same Kelly Rowland. When? Their whole career, their whole solo album. When? Yeah, do you remember going over the Super Bowl? What did you say Beyonce did? Brought them back to do what? Turn their mics off. So what if she had nothing to do with that? It was the same thing. Just like you said about her twins. They were doing it. Same way P. Diddy. Same way Jay-Z. Same Aaliyah, right? Why she's gone. Which one changed? R. Kelly? Up till Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, up to which one? Biggie and Tupac? J-Lo? P. Diddy? Same P. Diddy. Which one? Left Eye? Aaliyah? Whitney Houston? Her daughter? Ray J? Brandy? Which one? Alicia Keys. Yeah. The whole of how many generations, right? This is what happened. It was a couple generations. Their kids, the same way. Oh, how did you know Cardi B? Growing Up Hip Hop and Love and Hip Hop are two different shows. Which one did you see Cardi on? You on Empire, that's good. We're on the same page now. Foot Locker! The shoes are calling you back! You... She had a baby with who? Yeah, for LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Humphries, the Raptor, Kim Kardashian, the Raptor, and Lamar Odom, Khloe Kardashian's wife. I mean, Tristan Thomas, Khloe Kardashian's wife. I mean, Bruce Jenner. Kris Jenner's wife. Yeah, the Olympic guy. What's his name? Yeah, Kendall. Their daddy. Kylie and Kendall. There you go. Yeah, they have some brothers, but we don't. We don't know them either. They were on the Stupid Show? Oh. We had a different side of town we lived on. What year were those shows on? Where? Who are their brothers? Brody Jenner? What's the other one? Bruce Jenner, his sons. You never knew they were brothers and sisters? Oh, maybe that's why. Who did I leave out? Justin Bieber's wife? What? She was the oldest one? Yes. Did you? Travis Barker, a couple. I think she was a mental health expert in her old age. The old Kardashian sister. We didn't get to the brother yet. He got swindled by Dream Kardashian, the baby. Yeah, just like. You want everything. The line is that Pepsi commercial. Michael Jackson. Or the Kardashian. Why? I keep mixing them up. I don't know. Which one was it? YouTube? The reality show? Which one? Their company? The people? Their husbands, their wives, their children? Their family? What year? I must be dead. When? OJ, stop this. We must stop the violence and the cycle of family secrets. What did you say? Even if they're interstate? What just happened? Ew! What did you just say to me? Something about Alicia. Did you all of those? Do you remember the dinosaur event? And then she had the birthday party, Khloe Kardashian? You? What did you think was funny? Do you remember Christmas? Kim Kardashian, the video? What did you think was funny about that? Yeah, the Santa Baby video. It's the same Ray J. Do you remember when she got back the tape? That was Kanye that got it? That's the same Ray J tape. What do you think was on the tape that Kanye got back for her when I posted that and showed you? So if she wanted the tape back, do you think she knew about it? Do you think she's the one that sold it? Yeah, we'll get into the Paris Hilton one after. What year was that? If. Yeah, we'll go over the robbery after in Paris and her children. Don't forget to include her children. And Kanye when he cracked, remember? He was crazy. Don't forget when they got married, all the years in between, what had happened. Same Kim Kardashian, same Chris Humphries when she was married, right? Same Raptor. He was a Raptor. Remember that? Chris Humphries. How long did she marry him? I don't know. Was it 71 days? 74 days? I think it was a sisterly competition thing. How long was Khloe married for? 72 days? I'm having fun. No, I don't eat ramen unless it has ingredients added. Like shrimp and corn. Some nice breadsticks. A steak. We've all grown up, haven't we, children? With our multicultural, interracial, and bi-state, tri-state, worldwide abuse. And raising awareness for who's supposed to talk. Oh no! That's your friend. They're too empathetic. They feel things for you. They can't talk. Yes, I'm referring to O.J. Simpson. Do you understand? That was the same. Kim Kardashian, her room. He took the bag. He has to catch everybody up. That's her father, the lawyer. If he did it on purpose, he became a lawyer right after O.J. Simpson went to his house. What you know or what I know? Domestic violence, right? Kind of like narcissistic abuse. That's what my business kind of was. Oh? When I asked you the worst? Why you were trying to let Paul Bernardo out of jail? When I asked you that, which one? Do you? So that was his wife or his ex-wife? O.J. Simpson. Yeah. Yes. That was her friend. Kris Jenner, her friend, right? They lived how close to each other? Their houses. When it happened. How they're friends, her and Paris Hilton. How old, how long, where they live, how I know that address. All the people that live there. Oh. Now, if you remember seeing any of the births of their children, if you remember, that's a reality show, right? They have to make it look like what? You forgot they're real people? That's a reality show? Maybe? Maybe? They had to go through recovery because of what? Plastic surgery, actual plastic surgery, because of you guys telling them what? Things like what you're doing to me? You don't understand because they already what? They didn't say nothing? They what? You're talking about self-esteem? Online, social media? What year did Kim Kardashian do the selfie book? She wanted to be a model. How long? She wasn't tall enough. People told her what for years? Before? Before what? What year was that tape? If that was after O.J. Simpson? They were using color, race, religion? Which one? Her father? A lawyer? In where? California? Do you? What year that was? You actually think about what you're saying? What year we're in? She became a lawyer, right? Same Kim Kardashian. What year did she start becoming a lawyer? After what? The Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian, or Kanye West? They started suing everybody, the rights of the music. That was her husband, right? Kanye? Same Taylor Swift. Do you remember that? All the awards, Beyonce, same Kanye, same Taylor Swift. Same one. Did you see that album? All those songs, same Taylor Swift. Oh. That's how I know you went and took everything to bring them. When did she come to Canada? Do you remember the post with the snake and the black heart? How I knew what? Oh, do you remember what happened with the baby? If you remember the concert she did here? Oh? Too real now? After that album? What's too real? When did I start the business? $2019. What did you call her? The narcissist? Toxic? The abuser? Which one? The scapegoat? Well, let's go over Selena Gomez. The same female bullying, female jealousy. Same as Taylor Swift. Selena Gomez, what happened to her? Yeah, we'll go over Disney and all those girls in a minute. Focus on the generations. How long all of these females went through it. The mental health. Selena Gomez. Right. Demi Lovato. You're talking about the Purple Heart? Stay strong. You're telling me about which one, mental health? Oh, I don't believe in offing yourself? The Limit is? Which one then? We can go back to Amanda Todd. Why? She was a YouTuber. A Canadian YouTuber. Why? You went through the whole court system with me. What Andrea did to me, what you guys did to me. That's the RCMP. I told you that already, right? I posted that video. Why? They couldn't get her help. Why? Why? Why is she gone? That was her mother I posted, right? That song you know, all of you know now, Jar of Hearts. Same, Amanda Todd. Why? Yeah, you're sitting here with my bullies, right? Watching them because I didn't off myself. And you're laughing and showing me. Do you understand? That's you who did that? What you are? You're pushing me until. You're trying to push me. What do you call yourself? They're all gone so they can't tell. Did you? Did you see that pattern? And which one stopped? Where did it stop? What was the one I posted today? One Direction and Twitch? Because you were all there? Oh. Oh. Now you're gonna go over when Drake and Justin Bieber came to Canada. Remember? The Bieber bits? All of the... yeah. What he did here. When he released that movie, the YouTube movie. He told a story. What kind of victim do you think he was when he was doing that? That was his real kid, right? When he got married? Do you remember that? Fire Festival? All the supermodels, which Jenner was there? And then, he got married, had a baby every year, right? Selena Gomez, what you did to which one of them? Why she had a breakdown? You think that's funny? If it's the same Justin Bieber who created the jealousy, why they broke up, why they couldn't get back together? You what? They couldn't decide? She couldn't decide if he sold her or he was telling the truth? Trust him? What do you think the difference is? Who created the jealousy? That was her real boyfriend. Before or after is right. Then, do you remember what you did to Justin Bieber? All the years? About which one? Then. Yeah, let's go in then. What year did we get to? When he got married, when he had the baby? Nope. I told you those were the models from Fire Festival. And? Did you? What she was doing? Hailey Baldwin? To who? On social media. And then, you know, the song, right? Just Selena Gomez. Yeah, they shipped her so she could make the country money. One song, right? Remember that? It's a good song though, right? When we get into Cardi and her album. Eminem and his album. "7 years, Taylor Swift. Go ahead. Which one? Tupac and Biggie. That was Snoop right on the plane with Tupac. P. Diddy with Biggie. Who else was there? When? You remember that was Mike Tyson? Which one? We went over Superwoman, right? Lily Singh, the jealousy you're creating. Why you did all that? Why all the government, the mayor got divorced, why they all got divorced, why they all split up from their husbands and wives. You remember that going over? Patrick Brown, all the scandals. John Tory, the mayor of Toronto, all the scandals. They had women there. Why they all got divorced. Kind of like. And then you brought Katy Perry to date Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister. What do you think all that was? They're trying to do what? We went over Jay Shitty and Superwoman and Humble the Poet, right? That was right here, Malton. And then what? Who did I miss? Amy Winehouse? Brittany Murphy? Britney Spears? Her emancipation, her family, her sister. When her sister had the kid, if it was Disney, if they created jealousy, and get into Ariana Grande, all of the Disney, Dan Schneider. What year when you brought it here to Canada and you were fighting Toronto and Peel, all the police? Do you remember that? Back and forth, Toronto and Peel, Toronto and Peel, Toronto and Peel. Everything they were doing, you were doing. Every race, color, religion, right? Inclusion. Every kind of protest you had for what? Destroying everything for what? You went through the government, you went through the police. So who's supposed to have authority in Canada? The Malton moms? Then who are you calling for help? When we went over 9/11, what year did Superwoman become a YouTuber? That's the same Pearson Airport, right? The same one we're by in Malton. So which one do you think she used? Same Humble the Poet. Which airport do you think they used? We went over where she lived, right? Canada, America, all the years. Which one changed? Daniel Drummond, my ex-narcissist, remember that? He worked at the airport, same one. We were going over the date, September 3rd. I asked when your birthday was. He started, after he drugged me, started at the airport the day after. Too close to home? For who? Yeah, he was a DJ, right, with his brother? 2002, 2012. He broke up with me. We were checking the dates, were we? Yeah, we? Because what benefit do we get from it? If she's a multimillionaire, like you keep telling me. Do I remember? The Lily Singh, Superwoman? What, the non-profit, the corporation? You all went over what? You wanted, she didn't get? You got to? And then, what was that, her sister, the blogger, sold helmets for autism? And how many times? Because of Andrea, you started on autism? And I asked if Andrea right? Was gaslighting her kid. That's why her kid was autistic. If autism, the cause, the narcissistic parent, right? Silencing the kid from gaslighting them until they stop talking. Nobody ever explored that, right? But you were making money, making helmets to do what? Do you remember the story with the kid on the bus? The autistic kid, the parent? You think this is funny, a joke? I'm telling you right to your face, and you're still doing it. Well, autism is a disorder, right? Just like narcissistic abuse, how many times? There's a spectrum. A narcissistic abuse spectrum, right? Nobody's the same. There's a whole spectrum. So autism disorder, from what I know, I've never looked it up. "6:04 p.m. Do you hear yourself? You keep coming telling me about money. You are the reason I can't work. You were the one sitting in the entrance breaking the rules, telling me about smoking in my unit when the lease says nothing about smoking in my unit. One more text message. What do you think is going to happen to you in the future? You think something's going to change? What do you think is going to change? You have your new councillor and mayor coming forward, right? To sustain you for the next 6 years. This is where you're going to be. This is the life you're going to be living, Malton. Nothing is going to change. Why do you keep coming onto mine and texting my phone if this is where I pay rent? Why shouldn't I say something? That's not my problem. That's your councillor and mayor. Just like you said, the past 2 years, you had her doing what? So why would you get to come in here and tell me about my lease when you're sitting right under me? Why wouldn't I get to do something to you after you called falsely on me? And you get to live here with your children and play games and do what? Have daycares as jobs and telling me I'm poor, I don't have a job, get a job. Where? In what world? You have professional what? You went over the board, right? You denied mine. You still don't know what a board is. Why I couldn't have my own nonprofit. Why do you keep telling me about a board? You destroyed my life. I can't get it back. Because what? You had non-profits, right? Same Malton Moms, the video they posted, showing people how to write for grants. Endless non-profits. Now you fixed it, so the non-profits that exist in Malton are set for the next 4 years, right? Nobody else can get in, nobody else can get money, nobody can have a non-profit, nobody can get into community groups. I don't know what you want from me. Like I said, the only thing left for me is to make money, right? Narcissistic abuse recovery, make actual money, and I don't know how I'm going to do that when you keep sitting here doing this. You come here in the morning, all hours of the night, to what? Did you have the nerve to ruin my business, destroy, email, send businesses emails from my business email? And then telling me you want free recovery coming here? What? Yeah, you want to go over how you were the ones that sold Superwoman? So what do you want to say now? You all hated me and did it on purpose, so what do you want to say to me? What did I tell you? If she ends up dead, that's not my fault. You did that, so what do you want me to say now? Well, go ahead. Which one brought who here? Drake brought her or she brought Drake? What was the connection? Humble the Poet? How did they all become stars here? How did they all do that if you didn't do it? Yeah, I went over the Maroon 5 video, right? Which after he divorced from his wife, by the way. But you remember that Me Too? All the girls in that video, speak your truth. Who were all the girls in that video? Yeah, let's go over that. What were they doing in that video? What was the date? That is the same Superwoman Lily Singh. Yes, now all the girls. Who was in that video? Girl Like You, that video. They what? I didn't hear you. Ellen is in that video? Yes, I'm aware Ellen is in that video. Who else? That's when they were accusing? That's where they're outing people of being toxic? That's when you brought up the word toxic? Which one? In America or Canada? Be clear. And when did Superwoman Lily Singh have her show? Late night in America. When did it get canceled? What was the date? When did she come to Canada to live? When did she make the movie? What are the years? Yes, you are. When did you do the podcast? 7 years. Yes, you are. Why in my life you ever get to tell me about who? Now I want to go over life coach and cooking. Can any of them cook? Humble the Poet, Jay Shetty, and Superwoman? In 2019, could they cook? Could they budget? They had their own houses. He had a wife, Jay Shetty, there. When did he get his wife? We'll go over Sick Kick. You took my music to sell to him, right? When did he have his tour? When did he go with J-Lo? When did he go with Superwoman? That was the same Christmas, right? Same YouTubers. Same wasabi and guava juice. So when did he go on tour? When did he go with J-Lo? Sick Kick there. What are the dates on those songs? When did he release the album? Why I Know It's My Music, right? That's the one. Every single song on YouTube. What is it? A remix of what? Let's go over the Humble the Poet. He was a teacher, right? What year was he a teacher? He quit his job as a teacher, threatened the teacher, and then became a rapper. What year was that? Then what did he do? He wrote books? We went over. They write books because they pre-sell them, right? Give us $20, and when I write the book, you can have it. And they go on Amazon, right? We went over that this morning. Maybe you didn't know, but that's a long time ago, before you did this to me. You wanted to sustain Malton for 20 years, right? So you didn't tell people. How do you think you all wrote books? How did you sell them? We'll go over the merchandise and where you took that from. All the blank t-shirts in a minute. Event planning. That's still me. Plan me a party. That's still me. Right, Malton? We're going to get to them all in a minute. And Huff and Puff and the castle and the party lady. All of it. The craft lady. All the cakes. And all the parties in the party room. Westwood Mall. Westwood Square. And your post today. Why you called it Westwood Mall when it's Westwood Square. But that can wait. Because we're not in Malton. We're in Narcissistic Abuse Land. We're behind the mall, and in the mall, you can have children. Oh, that's Malton Neighborhood Services that did that? That did that? Why'd you put Westwood Mall, buddy? That's a bad library. You read good. Where's the garden? Is that the community garden? Yes, I did. No, did you see the Jay-Z video? Where do you think that is? That's where I was walking behind the mall on Instagram. Oh. Is it in the welfare clinic? The community room? Why are you laughing? That's the same Westwood Square. You know where we are, right? We just run up the road down the trail. No Tim Hortons anymore. They didn't want you to charge your phone there. That's what they told me this morning, the police. So they demolished it. So you had to go to McDonald's. That's what the McDonald's told me. They want more money. Because you're selling those drinks with Red Bull. And Red Bull doesn't give you wings. It gives you heart problems. Right, adults? But the kids see you. What are the colorful drinks for everybody? Yeah, who understands that? The Dragon Blast, whatever it is. Red Bull. How many problems? Why kids weren't supposed to drink it? Energy drinks, right? Why they were unhealthy. That's McDonald's. Yes, the same one. Why what? Want to see my keychain? When I said I'm gonna haunt you for the rest of your life, I didn't know I was gonna live in Malton. Oh, that's a good. What? Can you see it? What did it say to you? I'm 47? Oh. That's what I thought it said. 47. Nope, that's it. That's me. My house. Where I live. Sometimes. Unless I'm at the McDonald's getting coffee. I'm blocked at the Tim Hortons by my mother's house. That's why. Did you see the videos last night? I ended up on the train tracks, walking around. When I was in Ridgewood, my friend used to live on Hull Street in a house there. My friend Jamie. Isn't that funny? Amy and Jamie. I thought it was funny. It was fun when the teacher called. That was Ridgewood, grade 5. We were in the same class. You call that karma or revenge? Well, I could tell you about Wild Water Kingdom when we went. But you destroyed that. And turned it into... I'm not even going to say it. I feel dirty. Caravan that never ended? Is that what we call... They changed the name. Yeah, that place. Yay, you! Canada's Wonderland has water slides now, so it's okay. You understand the stories I told about the lazy river? Which one you want puts tube on your head? In the lazy river? While some people were inside the tube, floating down the lazy river? Oh, okay. Because kids don't want to drown getting caught under it. Oh. How much does it cost to rent one of those tubes? The round circle donut things to go down the lazy river. They have the same water? Yeah, remember that's in Brampton. The company, all the water, where they filter it and bring it to us here in Malton. By the dry cleaner. Why didn't you just the water? We got the bread. Stop making me read things. That's the same Joe's, right? Same Brandon Gate? Oh. Oh. No stores anymore. Yeah, that sign. You said. No stores. Do we get a new mayor? Oh. Congratulations. What is that? The planning council? Planning council? Is there a housing council? Homelessness council? No, I'm just an update by the fire station. Maybe they could collaborate and get 2-3 houses. Actually built. So you could get off the street and out of my building. Is that clear enough? Send you back to Clothra? I think the people are starting to raise their own. What if I raise 50,000 like Ship did? Can you get me an apartment in a subsidized housing? No, they went over us housing subsidy and subsidized. They don't know the difference still. So I don't know what they're asking for or what they want. Because they don't know. You need money to have a house and pay rent. Where are you going to get it? They don't know that either. So I don't know what page you guys are on. Or the workers or the buildings. Much less the landlords and their house. It's 21. Yeah, it's a long video. I'm gonna end this one here. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you learned something. Enjoy your night, everybody. Malton excluded. You didn't want to include me in anything. You wanted to block me out and off me, so I'm gonna live here forever and haunt you. Make your lives worse. Rub it in your faces every day. When you lose your job and your house and your money and your food. Or I could not be a revenge person. Right, empath? Bye, everybody.